I've been out here messing around with this old truck a little bit and got the white walls all cleaned up and kind of wiped the body down a little bit and got some of the dirt off of it. And I was looking at my fuel filter here, and it's pretty full and pretty dirty. And what that is this is the original tank for this truck, and I took it off and took it all apart. I took, pulled the gauge out, this out, and cleaned it really good. And I got one of those kits and coated the inside, and it's almost white inside. It's really nice. It turned out really nice, and it's being white like that, you can see any dirt that's in it. And I noticed right away that when I put the gas gauge back in, the little plate, and I didn't, I siliconed that, and I got a little carried away with silicone. Little pieces of silicone started dropping off into the gas tank, and one time it plugged completely up, and I had to pull the tank off, or pull the filter off and blow it back, and I got it home and put a new filter on, and I've been carrying an extra filter, a new filter in my filter box, but I haven't had to use it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and change that out, because I wanted to wait until I got most of this picked up, and now I have. And I'm going to make a mess here, but that's all right. Anyway, that should pretty well take care of all that silicone that has dropped down into the tank. And this is kind of neat because it's got a little petcock there. You can shut the fuel off, and I don't think the new cars are built that way, too many of them, because when this thing was built, they knew that people were going to have to work on it and make repairs, and they had that in mind when they designed things. And they don't do that now, they just kind of build, seemed like to me, like a lot of them are throwaway cars, and they should all make repairs easy on the new ones, and I don't even like working on them. I don't know enough about them to work on them anyway. Once they got a computer in them, I'm pretty well done with them, and I just don't want to spend that much energy learning that stuff. And this old school is a whole lot more fun for me. And so anyway, I got a question. I could go look in the book. I've got a book on this thing and the engine and chassis and the whole deal. There was a YouTuber sent me a repair manual for this thing, and it's a really cool old book, and it tells you just about everything you want to know, every adjustment you'd want to make. But the towing on this thing, I could go look in the book, but I thought it'd be a lot more fun to ask George Busia, because George is the man on this old school stuff, and I just don't recall off the top of my head what towing's supposed to be said on this thing. On these old, I think it seems to me like it's about a quarter. It's quite a bit. It sounds like quite a bit to me. But I'm thinking that's what it was. But I bet George knows, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to ask him. And there's probably a lot of you know. But anyway, George is the one that came to mind when I was thinking about that. Because what happened was, at some point during the build on this thing, I dropped this thing off the jack, or I don't know what happened. I don't remember now, but what I did was put a little bit of a bend in my tie rod, and I laid it up there on the bench, and I straightened it out as best I could, and got it pretty well, but I think it's still got a little bit of a bend, a tiny bit of bow in it, which would throw the toe-in out in the front. And so I need to compensate for that little bit of a bow that's in that tie rod. The way that works is if you put a wrench on here and twist that a little bit, it's got opposing threads. One side is left hand threaded and the other side's right hand threaded. So when you turn this, it will spread it out just a little, or draw it in. And it don't take much of a turn to do a whole lot when you're dealing with that toe end. So anyway, I think just for giggles, I'll wait for a reply on that toe end before I go look at the book. I could look at the book, but this is a whole lot more fun, ain't it? Making videos, and watching videos, and hot rod videos, and rat rod videos, and all that good stuff. And let me done told you what now. Got some more white walls. They're sparkling, ain't they? You know, I'm kind of pleased. I went just every once in a while I throw this thing up on the rack and just kind of give it a inspection and just checking everything over, and I did that today, and I greased the front end and all the tie rod ends and the kingpins and everything. And you know, a lot of people don't even know what a kingpin is. I'm just so glad that I grew up on this stuff and cut my teeth on these old rigs. They're just kind of fun. But anyway, I'm kind of pleased that I went over it and just checked everything out on the whole thing underneath, and you know, spring shackles and things like that. And everything's just as tight as the day I put it together. You know, it's holding up pretty well. And I've run it quite a bit. I run it enough at that front end, need a little bit of grease. So yeah, it seems to be doing pretty well. I'm gonna go and grease up my U-joints if they'll take grease. I don't even know. Some of them don't. No, this one don't. Yeah, that's kind of a shame. Anyway, I guess they don't need it. Alrighty, that's enough for now. Getting ready for the parade tomorrow night. If it ever quits raining. Start raining again. I'll tell you what, we'll just see y'all later, okay? Have a good one. Bye.